Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching my channel again. Today I want to speak about the situation of economy of Kenya. Why Ruto's government is failing. Why Ruto's government is not able to pay its employees. Hii njaa yenye iko Kenya inasababishwa na nini? Leo nataka kukueleza mbona serikali ya Ruto hawezi run government yake as venye tunaitarajia. You know, the economy is very complicated. To run an economy of a country is very complicated. It requires political goodwill and the ability to use the resources, the channels you have to get money to run the government and to run the economy of a country. There are different stakeholders of an economy of a country. There's a private sector and there's public sector controlled by the government, and these two must work in coordination to ensure that the country runs smoothly. The government must have the political goodwill to allow economy to thrive. When the economy thrives, the government is able to collect the tax. Your tax anahitaji to run the government. Currently, Ruto depends on the tax as the main source of income to run its government. This is because he said he's not interested in taking loans from other countries, and that only tax will sustain the economy of the country. This is a danger because no country in the world has ever been able to run on tax only, on taxing the citizens only to finance its activities. This is very dangerous to the country, and Ruto will soon leave the office because of inability to run the government. If I were Ruto, I would think twice. Ruto depends on tax because domestic borrowing, that means borrowing from the local banks, this is a Kenya like KCB, National Bank, Equity Bank, and maybe I&M Bank. Those are major banks that Ruto always gets money from them to run the government. Unfortunately, these banks, these sources don't have enough cash to loan Ruto. This makes it further complicated because Ruto has started war against the rich, the poor against the rich. That means Mabwanyenye Kenya, the rich people of Kenya, are afraid that the government will fight their business, will fight their sources of income, and will try to freeze their bank accounts. So what they do, these rich people, they take their money from the local Kenyan banks, convert into dollar, and save them overseas in other countries, leaving the local banks to be not be able to have that large capacity of income to sustain the domestic borrowing that the government also depends. This makes it difficult for Mr. Ruto to get money enough to pay counties, to pay workers, and soon the government will fall because of the unsustainability. Here you don't even need to blame Raila for maandamanos because it's a self-created problem. Ruto anacreate hiyo shida yenye iko saizi Kenya. Secondly, we have another source of income for our government. That is loans from the international community and other countries. These loans comes with conditions, and these loans wants a very good international relationship, the ability to relate with the international communities, to trust you with their loans. This is a problem to Ruto's government because, first of all, his presidency has always been tagged on what? On USA. It is USA which supported Ruto and made Ruto to be the what? The President of the Republic of Kenya. US has the ability to loan Ruto so that the government can be sustainable, but on conditions. Some of the conditions given to Ruto include he must legalize LGBTQ in Kenya. These are things that Kenyans don't take lightly, and it is being resisted by every person, every religion, every organization in Kenya. So they fought to get US to give us loans is a problem. Secondly, US expects that we, the people of Kenya, should consume the what? GMOs, which they do produce. So they want to extend the GMOs to Kenya. This is a policy that still is a problem to Kenya, and it is not easy to implement. Regardless the fact that Ruto has the majority, has bought many MPs to pass the bills, but still it is very impossible for such policies, such bills to be introduced in Kenya. This makes US a no-go zone for Ruto in terms of loans, grants, and any other help. China, when Ruto came to power, the first thing he did was to assure Kenya that China is the cause of all our problems because we have loans that we should service to China. China is almost taking over our ports, our resources. That was the narrative from Ruto. Sincerely speaking, China has been a good partner to African countries, including Kenya. No political ties, only to give loans as much as they want, so long as we promise to pay. And the truth is that Kenya is able to pay its loans so long as we eradicate corruption in Kenya. So China can't lend Kenya loans with the current situation, with the Ruto as the president. The only options we have is Europe. Europe, we have UK, Germany, France, all those countries, name them. They can be good partners of Kenya. But the problem is that these countries also have conditions. The one condition is that for Ruto to get loans, there must be peace, stability in the country. And UK trusts Uhuru Kenyatta more than they trust Ruto. Germany trusts Raila more than they trust Ruto. Russia trusts Raila more than they trust Ruto. US and France are just the same, are in the same page. US, France, and UK. They need a collateral. They need assurance that they'll be paid at long last. But the problem is that Ruto is not cooperating with them. Ruto, for example, if Ruto needs a loan from UK or any support from UK, the investors in UK, private sectors in UK, banks in UK, he must do that through Uhuru because Uhuru has a good connection to UK. The same applies to Germany. The same applies to France. They need these people. So Ruto is stuck in a hole that it is very difficult to come out. And soon, his government may come to an end. Not because of Mandamano, because of the inability to sustain. The tax cannot sustain the Kenyan economy. Tax alone cannot sustain Kenyan economy. Tax alone will lead to the fall of this country. And Ruto is likely to go home before 5 years, unless he changes his mind on the approach he'll take to rule and to govern this Republic of Kenya. Thank you.